This Mercury retrograde energy has been showing us the reality of the relationships that we are in. Okay. And a lot of relationships right now are being tested. So, Peace Family on Instagram, Peace Family on YouTube, what is up? We are going to be going in today on spiritual love, spiritual intimacy, spiritual relationships, because I know some of y'all relationships, some of y'all most intimate relationships have been triggered since this Mercury retrograde has started. So I'm going to talk to y'all about that today over here on Instagram. What's up, Daryl Norris? What's up, The Life Get Together? What's up, Tiffany? What's up, old road? I'm messing that up. What's up, though? What's up, winners? Winners only fit. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love that you are giving Dream and I. We appreciate that. Y'all over here on Instagram, get it, not Instagram. Y'all over here on YouTube, get in the chat. Say what's up. I see you here. Say what's up. Peace family. Listen, we're talking about spiritual love, intimacy, and relationships. And this is what I want to just say straight off the top. Most of you, because I've been there too, most of our relationships are trauma bonds. Most of our relationships are trauma bonds, right? We've made certain connections based off of the trauma that we are or have experienced. Most of us, that is what we are doing, okay? Most of us, that is what we're doing. And until we become, look at that Instagram back there. Y'all see that? That's the Sacred Sister Circle banner. Love that, right? Most of us are trauma bonding. And until we become aware of that, we will continue building our relationships upon trauma instead of triumph, upon trauma instead of transformation, upon trauma instead of love. And this Mercury retrograde energy is bringing all of those things out. This Mercury retrograde energy is showing us all of the shit, all of the beliefs, all of the emotions, all of the unresolved things. That Mercury retrograde shines a light on those things. I'm telling y'all from my own experience, especially because Mercury is retrograding in Libra. Okay. We are in the Libra season now. We're still in Mercury retrograde. We're going to be in Mercury retrograde until October 6th, the day before my birthday, right? And so with that being said, we just have to understand that we're going to be forced to look at our relationships, forced to look at the meaning that we've given into our relationships, and forced to really reflect on our shit. And so I'm so glad to talk to y'all about it today. Y'all let me know in the chat. Do you have a definition for love? Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all have a definition for love, because I'm telling you, the definition for love, I personally can't put words to it. The only definition that I can give to love is God. Love is all. That's really the only definition that I can really give to it. It's just a knowing. It's just a feeling. I can't really put an actual definition to what love is. Is it a feeling? Is it a decision? Is it a choice? Right? Love is God. Love is all. Right? That's really the only thing that I can put to it. Right? That's the only thing that I can put to it. And here's what we have to understand is that whether it feels like it or not, we are always in a space of love. The only reason why you don't feel love, even in situations that could be traumatic, even in situations that can be tough to handle and manage, the only reason why you don't feel love is because in those moments you feel disconnected from God. In the moments where we are experiencing a perpetual state of trauma, arguing, sadness, depression, disappointment, in those moments, we are just feeling separate from God. And we feel that way because our perspective in those moments of hardship, in those moments of sadness, our perspective is kind of limited in those moments. And understandably so, because we are humans having, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And so we have to have these moments where we feel disconnected, where we question what love is, what God is. Are we connected to that? Is it all real? Okay. So this topic is so very important right now because, y'all, a lot is actually coming up. We're being forced to face some of the beliefs, right? Some of the emotions, some of the shit that we've been holding on to. All right. The life get togetherer. Honey, she says she gets people's life together over here on Instagram. She says, yes, the fact that Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, and Uranus are all retrograde is playing a big role. This is very, very true. Very true. And let me say this too. We have to be very vigilant right now. You got to be very vigilant right now. You got to be very diligent right now in all that you are doing, in all that you are thinking, in all that you are feeling. You really have to be diligent right now. You really have to be vigilant right now because chaos, right? We are still in those Jason months, right? We're still in the season where there's a lot of chaos that is, that is happening around us. And so we have to make sure that we are tuned into our sacred self. We have to make sure that we are listening to the voice of God instead of the voice of fear, instead of the voice of stress, instead of the voice of disappointment. We have to make sure that we are not in a perpetual state of fight or flight right now. Okay. Wow. J Rio over here on Instagram says, I didn't experience true love till I had a child. Then you realize it's a indescribable feeling. Like, how can I love this little human so much and I don't even know them? Wow. Well, the reason why you can love that little human so much is because that little human is you. That little human is you. It's something that you've created. It's something that your energy, your love, this light is glitching over here. That little human is something that your light, your love has created, right? That it's you looking at you whenever you're looking at your own child, right? But we can love and understand what love is. Real love is beyond our children. It is absolutely possible to know what love is outside of your children. And here's what I know. Because God is love, if you can really tune in to your sacred self, right? If you could really tune into your higher self, if you could really tune into the God that lives within you, you will experience love on many facets and in many ways, right? Like, love to me is cooking a good ass meal. That's a manifestation of love. I don't know about y'all. If you don't feel that way, honey, you got to tune in. But when I get in that kitchen and I have the intention of nourishing, providing, right? And making sure that my family eats well, making sure that they enjoy this food, that's a form of love. Let me know in the chat if y'all get it, but that's a form of love to me. A real manifestation of love. Right? When I'm in that kitchen cooking, I open myself up and I'll allow the God that dwells within me to speak to me, to speak to this food, and I really add a whole nother energy and a vibration to that food, right? It's not just the sweet potatoes and the salmon and all of that. It's not just that, but they're literally eating love. Have any of y'all ever had that experience? But that's spiritual love, though. That's spiritual love. I am putting this energy, this presence into this food because I want my family to take it in and they literally feel loved. Their bodies literally heal and transform. That's a part of spiritual love. Okay? Do y'all understand that? So, getting back to talking about these trauma bonds, right? Talking about these trauma bonds that are, it's really real. When we have unresolved trauma, family, this is when we attract certain people who are going to give us the opportunity to transform and transmute some of the beliefs that we've created based off of the trauma that we've experienced. Okay? Let me know in the chat if y'all understand that. You attract people into your life through your aura, through your energy signature. You attract certain people in your life who are going to help you to either heal from your past, right? That's an option. Or the other option is you repeat the same cycle that happened when you were a child. So it's heal or repeat. It's transform the way you think or repeat. It's you become a better person, right? You become a more conscious, a more aware person, or you shall repeat. Okay? That's just what it is. So did y'all hear, right? And here's a form of trauma bonds. So juicy. So juicy. Did y'all hear about the girl, this rapper girl, Erica Banks? I've never heard this girl's music and probably will never listen to her music, right? But this girl, Erica Banks, on Instagram and her close friends on Instagram. Okay, girl, bye. But in her close friends build on Instagram, she's just going off on if a woman does not look a certain way, if she don't have the body, if she don't have the breasts, if she don't have the BBL ass, right? Whether it's, let me not say BBL. Maybe she has a real butt. Maybe she doesn't. But if she is not voluptuous, if her wig is not slayed and laid, right? If her frontal is not laid for the gods, if she don't know how to dress, this woman, right, can't be her friend or can't go out with her. Did y'all hear about that? Let me know if y'all heard about that. Right? Rapper girl, Erica Banks. If you don't got the body, if you don't got the look, if you don't have the aesthetic, you can't sit with me. Did y'all hear that? Let me know. Because when I observed this, I observed a woman who is misogynistic. I observed a woman who is heavy in her masculine energy. Doesn't matter how she got that wig laid and curled. Doesn't matter how them nails may be coffin shaped. It don't matter. She may be wearing a crop top and booty shorts. That does not make you a woman. That does not make you feminine. Understand that. Right? This lady is the embodiment. She's showing us something that a lot of you ladies are not able to observe within yourself. But she's showing us masculine energy in her beliefs. Because masculine energy is consumed in the aesthetic of things, right? How does things look on the outside? Masculine energy is a very outward, external energy. How does something look? How does something appear? Feminine energy is about what's happening on the inside. So for that woman, Erica Banks, to say, oh, if she don't got a big butt, if she don't know how to dress, if her hair is not did, she can't come to the club with me. For that woman to say that says to me that she is clearly in a masculine state of being. Doesn't matter how she looks. Doesn't matter how she looks. And this is why it will be challenging for her to actually manifest healthy relationships. Healthy relationships with other men and with men, and healthy relationships with other women. Okay? Women who are tapped in and tuned in into their feminine energy, truly, they relate based off an internal, energetic, intuitive knowing. That's where you relate from. There's just this feeling. There's just this thing where you know that this is a woman or this is a man that you're supposed to connect with. And you move forward in that relationship, not from a space of fear. Because a woman that is truly tuned into her feminine energy, she knows and understands that whatever she experiences within a relationship, she has the power to transform and transmute. A lot of you women are afraid of being in a relationship. Oh, I don't want to get hurt again, or, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. And you really have to ask yourself, ladies, you really have to ask yourself. You really have to reflect on all that you've overcome in the past, right? You got to reflect on everything that you've overcome in the past. So what if the relationship does not work out? You're still going to be here, right? You still will be here. It's not the end all be all. You get to try again. You get to reflect on yourself. You get to look inside of yourself and say, okay, this. The way that I showed up in this situation, right? It was not in alignment with what I actually needed. I get to try again. I get to be better. I get to transform. I get to heal. Does that make sense? Okay. But I couldn't believe this young lady had said that. I was like, this is why you'll never have real friends, sis. This is why you'll never have spiritually grounded relationships, right? Because that's just straight up masculine energy. So some of you ladies are thinking, oh, feminine energy is about, she looks feminine. Her voice is even soft. No. Okay. And so think about how crazy this is. The women who get in relationship with a woman like that, like Erica Banks, who says, a girl can't hang with me. She can't sit with me, whatever, a mean girl. Let's just call it that, a mean girl. Women who end up being in a relationship with her, they're trauma bonding. They're trauma bonding. Think about this. If you have a friend, in their mind, they're judging what you have on. If your hair is did, how your body look, right? Is she in shape? Can she, if we go out to the club, is she going to be able to pull? Whatever. If you are in a relationship with a woman like that, sis, I'm telling you right now. If you have a friend that is like that, sis, I'm telling you right now, that is a trauma bond. Because what that lady is going to do unconsciously is make you question yourself. Am I good enough? Am I beautiful enough? Right? You're going to be that friend. You'll be that friend. Y'all about to go out and you like, girl, how my outfit look? Is this okay? Instead of you just being comfortable, you being confident, you being assertive in yourself. People who would be friends with a woman like that, who would say things like that, literally, you've manifested that relationship just for her to cause you to have to reflect on what you believe about yourself, what you feel about yourself. And so that's the power of relationships. The power of relationships is that who you attract and who you connect with, they're going to give you an opportunity to see the things about yourself that maybe you have been unaware of or unconscious of. It's so true. And it's so good. It's so good and it is so necessary. Understand this. All of your relationships have a spiritual essence to them. You just have to be conscious enough to reflect on it. And best believe this Mercury retrograde energy is going to show you a lot of that. This Mercury retrograde energy is definitely going to show you a lot of that. Like, oh shit, I'm tripping. Let me say what's up to my family over here on YouTube. What's up, GK Money? What's up, Shay? What's up, Love? What's up, KT? Hey, Soprano. I'm assuming that's how you say that. What's up, AA? What's up, West Oakland? Zoo Kunta. Maybe that's Kunta. Zoo Kunta. Tell me why your wife is saying that to you. Why is your wife saying that to you? Why do you feel like your wife is afraid? Zoo Kunta over here on YouTube saying his wife keeps throwing divorce in his face. Hey, listen, you got to understand what that fear is. What is that fear? You got to really ask yourself, has my wife been asking me something and I'm not doing it? Okay. Has my wife been asking something of me and I'm not doing it? Am I showing up? Is my wife needing me to show up in a certain space? What is my wife actually needing? You also have to ask yourself, Zoo Kunta, what traumas has your wife faced? Because if your wife is similar to me, right? And here's something spiritual about relationships, family. You attract the people that you need that are going to support your healing. Okay? I grew up in a very stressful environment, right? Which many of us may have, right? I grew up in a very stressful environment in terms of relationships, men and women being together. My mother and father, it started with them, very toxic relationship. And then my mother got remarried, very toxic relationship. And so I grew up with this programming that if arguments are happening, if disagreements are happening, if it's chaotic in the household, I don't have to stick around for that. Divorce is an option. That's the idea that I grew up with. That's the programming that I grew up with by having a mother who got divorced from my father and then divorced from her second husband. And she got divorces because the relationships were toxic, right? They were traumatizing. And not just because that, they were traumatizing. And my mother and my father and my mother and her second husband, they did not have the skills to transmute that trauma. They did not have the skills to heal that and overcome that. And because they didn't, things got very explosive. Things got very traumatizing for my brothers and I. And the only option was to separate. So understand that when it comes down to your relationships, family, either you are going to do the work to heal or transform, or you're going to continue to perpetuate trauma. Okay? And let me say this. The work is not a one-sided thing. I have so many conversations with women, and they're always like, yeah, it's only me doing the work. I'm working on myself, but my husband or my boyfriend, he's not working on himself. Well, that's a lack of balance, sis. I got to tell you. If only one person is consciously working on themselves, if one person is only working on themselves in a relationship, that is a lack of balance. And at the end of the day, a lack of balance in relationships is ultimately what breaks relationships up. Okay? So if you could understand Zu, Kunta, and everybody, if you could understand what your relationship is serving to teach you about yourself, and you do the work, you recognize and realize that reflection, and you do the work, you have the ability to heal and transform. Okay? Like in my relationship with Dream, years ago, I would also threaten him with breakups. And I would threaten him with breakups, not because that's what I truly wanted, because that's not what I truly wanted. What I truly wanted was to break the cycle, right? I want to, and I'm still striving to, and I'm doing the work to maintain a relationship, a healthy, loving, positive, manifesting relationship with my husband and the father of my 3 children. That's the goal for me. The goal is to keep growing, to keep healing, and keep transforming with this person that I love and that I've created life with. But not only that, the goal for me is to not to just coexist with him, but to really thrive with him and to really love him and to be in a relationship with him. And the kids are just the fruit, which they are. The kids are just the fruit of this beautiful union that we have, right? That's the goal for me. That is what I desire. That's the work. So I would say things based off of my trauma. I would say things to him based off of growing up in a household where when things get rough, instead of working on it, instead of doing the healing work, instead of becoming better people, instead of getting the therapist, instead of getting the coach, instead of being internal, you fight and you break up, right? So you have to understand that you are going to, and see, Dream is the type of person who I know I can stick it out with, right? Because he's going to reflect on himself. Absolutely. D over here on Instagram just said, using the breakup as a defense mechanism. Yes. Because what I observed was it's easier to break up than it is to do the self-work. Because when you got to look at yourself, right? And this is for both people in a relationship. When you got to look at yourself, that's challenging work. Because you got to reflect on your trauma. You got to reflect on the thoughts and the emotions and the habits that you have. And then when you see that, you actually have to do something to change it. And a lot of people don't want to do the work to change it. They want to stay who they are They want to remain who they've been and get a different result. And it just doesn't work like that. Okay? So you really got to understand that within your relationships. Right? You got to understand that within your relationships. For any relationship to work, whether it is with a friend, whether it is a business relationship, whether it is your most intimate relationships, whether it's with your children, your parents, right? You have to be aware of yourself, right? You have to be aware of yourself and what it is that you are needing, what it is that you are reflecting, right? What it is that is calling to be birthed and transformed from you. Okay? You really got to understand that. If you don't understand that, you're going to go from trauma bond to trauma bond to trauma bond to trauma bond. And then you look up in your life and be like, damn, why have I never experienced true love? Because love, right? Listen, love is not, I mean, sometimes it can be love at first sight. I think Dream loved me at first sight. Let me just call a spade a spade. I think he saw me. He ain't never said this, but this is what I think. I think he saw me at 24-Hour Fitness, fresh, right? Fresh. When I say fresh, I mean wet behind the ears. Naive, but beautiful. Beautiful, vibrant, energetic, something new. I think he saw me for the first time and was like, damn, okay. Matter of fact, he did. He did. So, yes, that's that one form of love that, oh, this is new, this is fresh. But love really gets cultivated and worked on when you can go through the fire and come out better. When you can go through some pressure and become a diamond. When you can be refined and reformed and tap into your better self. I mean, the journey that Dream and I have been through has been a cultivation of love. Right? It's been, okay, this is my shortcoming. This is your shortcoming. How do we work through this? The grace, right? The grace, the mercy, the space to actually grow and be better. I literally had to tell Dream, you know what, babe? I don't believe what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not true, right? Because that's what happens with trauma, family, especially in relationships, right? When you've been traumatized in your childhood, you've seen some shit, you've had some experiences. Me personally, I seen my mother in very abusive relationships, multiple, right? Multiple. And so for me, it was like, get out. It was like, get out. You have an argument, you have a disagreement, get out, run, right? She's a runner, she's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard, right? That's what I saw. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I saw in relationships. It gets hard, run away, right? It gets hard, run away. Don't really self-reflect. Don't really look at where you messed up. Just run away. That's what I learned. That's what I observed. So I didn't want to keep on doing that, though. I didn't want that to be my same story. Things get hard in a relationship, and instead of me working on it, instead of me becoming better, instead of me allowing the space and opportunity for my partner to be better, I just get rid of it. Right? I just get rid of it, right? I didn't want that, but my habits, my words at the time were saying that. And that's because when we are in a state of stress, you always go back to what is comfortable. When you are in a state of stress, when your back is up against the wall, you always go back to what is comfortable. That is human nature, especially if you are not conscious, especially if you are not self-aware. And so I had to tap into my self-awareness. So Dream and I'll be having a disagreement. I got to guard my tongue. I got to guard my tongue. I got to guard what it is that I'm doing. I got to guard what it is that I'm saying. And I got to ask God, my higher self, to give me the words, right? To really give me the words that express the truth of what I seek to experience. Honey, I don't know about y'all, but when you are in a state of stress and your back is up against the wall and you're being challenged in your relationship or in your life, period, You have to allow yourself the space to go within to get the clarity about how you move forward. Because otherwise, you're going to do the same thing that you saw your mother doing, the same thing you saw your daddy doing, the same thing that you grew up watching, even though you know those things are not in alignment with the desires that you have. And so you have to observe that. And so I had to start tapping into some spiritual practices in those moments. I had to take some deep breaths. I had to ask, guard my tongue. Guard my tongue. Let me not say things that I don't want. Let me not say things that I don't believe in. Let me not do things that are not in alignment with what I truly desire. And that takes self-awareness. And it is that level of self-awareness that people are afraid of embodying. But when you are in a relationship that is really grounded in spiritual love, they'll give you some grace. Like Dream has had to give me grace, and I've had to apologize. I've had to apologize from my heart, really, and work at it. And that's not to say that I'm the bad guy in a relationship. You're not the bad guy in a relationship, right? Everybody has their shortcomings. Everybody has their challenges, right? There has also been things where Dream has had to be like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna work on that. I'm not gonna speak for him, but I'm just telling you, as you know, as a very present partner, that yes, that's what it is. But it's a spiritual love, and the spiritual love is really what's allowing us to really grow and transform. So you got to be conscious. Let me read some of these comments because I think some of these comments are popping. East Tea Tree says, in your previous video, you mentioned you have to disassociate from your traumas. Absolutely. Right? A lot of times we keep on saying, you know, well, this happened to me and this happened to me and this is who I am. And yes, those things did happen to you. But if you want to change your life, if you want to be better, you got to stop always talking about it and start talking about what you do want. Start focusing on the things that you do desire. Absolutely. Okay. If you're giving more attention and more focus to your trauma, if you're giving more attention and more focus, and let me be clear, it's not to your trauma per se, right? It's not that you just keep on thinking about everything that has happened in your past. I'm not talking about that. But if you keep on giving more attention to the quality of the person that you are, right? Right? The type of person that you are. I mean, the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you act. If you keep on focusing on, okay, I'm a procrastinator, or I'm a perfectionist, or, you know, I'm indecisive, right? Because those qualities, those character traits are the result of some sort of trauma, no matter how big or how small. Some of you may be a perfectionist because your mama was hard on you or your daddy was hard on you and they said, okay, no, do it again. You didn't do that right. Or you can do better than that, right? You probably grew up with a parent like that or a grandparent like that or a teacher like that. And so you've developed this ideology of having to be a perfectionist. That's a trauma response. But if you stay more focused on, oh, I got to be a perfectionist, I got to get this done perfect, rather than, no, I just have to do it. I just have to start. I just have to put myself out there. You're still focusing on your past rather than being more focused on what you do want. Okay. D over here on Instagram says, something that'll stick with me forever is you saying it's a reason why we are in the relationships that we are in. Maybe for the good or bad, but self-reflection can guide you through that and help you to understand. Absolute facts. Absolute facts, right? Either, and here's the thing. Every relationship that you are in can always, always, always serve you. It always does serve you. Perspective is everything. Your perspective is absolutely everything. How you are choosing to see your relationship, how you are choosing to see, you know, what's happening in your relationships, that's the key. That's the key. So Divine Zoe says, how do you find out the reason? You find out the reason throughout the lessons that you are learning. The reason is within the lesson. The lesson is the blessing. Okay? I manifested my relationship with Dream because he is showing me that it is possible. The reason behind my relationship with him is he's showing me that we can have and create healthy relationships. That's the reason why I'm with him. And we have things that come up within our relationship, but we always, Spirit always just downloads us with the right provisions and the right concessions and the right support to overcome what we experience. Right? It's like we are always given everything that we need to let go of what is not serving us in a specific moment. We are always given everything that we need for me to grow and for him to grow and for us to grow as a family and as a household. So that's the reason. That's the reason for me to learn that real love, healthy relationships, healthy mother and father and child does exist. But I gained that reason through the trials, through the tribulations, through the challenges. If everything was just perfect, I wouldn't learn anything from it. I wouldn't gain anything from it. That makes sense? So you find the reason for your relationship based off of the challenges and the trials and tribulations that you experience within it. But you have to have the mindset that says, okay, what's happening in this relationship is a reflection of me. Right? What is being shown to me is reflecting to me something that I need to know, something that I need to learn, something that I need to grow from. See, the problem is with very masculine women, and I'm speaking to women only because I coach women. Don't get it twisted. I can read men down too. I can give men what they need, but I coach women. I help women, right? Love my brothers, and I appreciate my brothers, but I coach women, right? So the messages that I give, specifically, I want to cater to the sisters. Brothers can still gain from it or whatever, but I'm here for y'all, right? The thing about women who are existing in a very masculine energy is that their energy is very outward. It's very projectory, right? It's very projection instead of reflection. Because reflection is a very feminine thing. Because when you reflect, that means you have to be internal. When you reflect, that means you got to look in the mirror. You got to look into yourself. And so a lot of very masculine women do not take accountability. They externalize everything that is happening in their lives. It's a result of everything that is happening outside of themselves. Okay? So let me go ahead and shameless plug right now. If you have not signed up for my workshop, that's tomorrow. It's tomorrow, right? The workshop is tomorrow. And my workshop tomorrow is turning masculine energy into feminine power. If you have not signed up, boom, the link was just dropped. Let me see how I can do that. How do I see? I wish I knew how to do this. I don't really know how to do. I'm getting better with technology, but I'm not where I want to be just yet. Right? So tomorrow I'm hosting a workshop turning masculine energy into feminine power. And this is not just for the woman who is overly masculine. This is also for the woman who lacks healthy masculine energy as well. Okay? At the end of the day, ladies, you need that masculine energy. You need that masculine energy. You need your feminine energy. But so many of us are out of balance. And I'm talking, based off of the lessons that I've learned about myself. I've been out of balance in the past. I've been, just either too masculine, and I would show up as very controlling, right? I would show up as very controlling, needing everything to go my way, caring about everything that's happening on the outside and not really looking at what's happening on my inside. And then on the other hand, I would lack masculine energy to where I felt like if it didn't feel right, if it was not in, right? Like if I didn't feel like doing it, and let me tell you, ladies, sometimes your feelings could be deceiving. But if I didn't feel like doing it, I wasn't going to do it. Right? If I didn't feel like being in a certain space or being in a certain place, then I'm not going to do whatever that thing is. So also that can be very, challenging for women in finding that healthy balance, right? So both ways, whether you are overly masculine and you know it, right? Or you're super feminine and you know it, my workshop tomorrow is for you. So make sure you tap in, make sure you show up. I'm here for the ladies. All right. I'm here for the ladies. So let me see if there's any more comments. Oh, yes. I was too masculine when I was younger. Yeah. And a lot of the times we become too masculine because we grow up with a very dominant father, or we grow up with a single mother who has to work. I know I did. My mother has now, at this time in her life, really tapped into her feminine, nurturing energy, right? She's really changed over the last couple of years. I would say over the last 10 years, she has evolved in such a beautiful way. And so for you ladies, you need to know this, and brothers, it's never too late for you to become better. It's never too late for you to manifest love. My mother finally manifested the man of her dreams, like the type of man that she really needed for her spiritual development, for her spiritual growth, for her evolution as a woman. She manifested him, and like, I want to say 11, 12 years ago, right? That's when she manifested him. My mother is 54 years old. So you understand, it is never too late, but you got to do the work. You got to do the work. I remember I had came home from college. And actually with my mother, she had her husband now. They've been together now for 11, 12 years, married. But they were friends in middle school, right? They were friends in middle school, and they tell these funny stories about them playing basketball against each other, some love and basketball type shit. Shout out to Gina Bythewood, who was the director for the movie The Woman King. Shout out to her. But yeah, my mother and her husband, who I just adore, they met in middle school, right? And I remember coming home my freshman year in college, the same year that I met Dream. Wow, that is so divine. I love that. The same year that I met him, I remember coming home from college, and my mother was sitting down with me. Actually, before I went to college, she was like, yeah, I'm just going to stop dating. I'm about to be celibate. It was so crazy that she was saying this to me. Like, I couldn't believe it. Literally, it was like a movie, right? It was like a movie because my mother was sitting on the stairs, right? She was sitting on the stairs in our house. She only had one light on. The rest of the lights in the house were off. She's sitting on the stairs, like thinking, contemplating. And I don't know where I was coming from or what I was doing, but that's that mother-daughter connection, right? I come down and I see my mother, and I see that she's upset. And this was one of the first times that my mother really cried and really opened herself up, right? And she was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be celibate. I'm not gonna be in no relationship or anything like that. I'm gonna just wait till you and your brothers are off in college and y'all are, because I have a brother that's younger than me. One of my brothers that's younger than me. He was still at home at the time. And my mother was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be in no relationships. I'm about to be celibate. I can't do this no more. And that was such a powerful moment. I swear it was like watching Waiting to Exhale, or How Stella Got Her Groove Back, or one of them Tyler Perry movies. It was that type of vibe. It was some real shit where my mother had made it to this point where she was just like, I can't do this no more. And that was so real. And that was one of the first times that she was very vulnerable with me. And I just realized, like, oh shit, like my mother, she has feelings, right? Because before then, I never thought my mom had feelings. She was so strong. She was so in her masculine bag. And it was because that was the only way that she knew. The only way she knew to survive was to be strong, was to be hard, was to not show no feelings, was to only date a man for what he could do, what he could provide. My mother wasn't in those relationships for love. She wasn't in those relationships for what they could do for her spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. It was, how can you help me take care of these 3 kids? And so at that moment, that was when she finally decided that she was going to surrender that masculine energy. That was where she decided that she was going to let go of only dating for money, because clearly that shit doesn't work. And that leads to a lot of trauma, a lot of stress. And so at that moment, my mom decided to be reflective. She decided to get in her feminine bag. She decided to tap into her heart. She decided to be okay with having feelings, be okay with the sadness, be okay with the disappointment, be okay with the hurt, be okay with the fact that she's made mistakes. It was one of the realest things that I seen from my mother. And you know what? I'm gonna talk to her about it one day because we just, it's like you have those very powerful spiritual moments with your family and you never talk about it again. And I want to talk to her about that because we've been having very spiritual conversations, right? And it's so funny because on Monday, just this past Monday, I messaged my mom and I told her, I said, Mom, I'm so proud of you for opening yourself up to receive love again. I'm so proud of you for not giving up on love. I'm so proud of you for opening up to my stepdad. His name is Black. I was like, I'm so glad that you opened yourself up to receive love from Black. And then I told Black, I said, and thank you for being who you are because we've constantly grown. You know, we were able to let go of the trauma. Y'all, my brothers and I was talking to my younger brother about this today. I was like, damn, bro, like, really reflect on the fact that we were, as children, in a perpetual state of trauma, always on guard, just ready for the next fight. Ready for the next fight. We were on guard. We were stressed the hell out as kids. We were stressed. And I was telling my brother, I was like, we really got to take a moment to appreciate who we are and all that we've come through. And all that we've seen, all that we've observed, right? But being a kid in a perpetual state of stress, just waiting for the next fight, right? Not even just between my mother and her partners at the time, but waiting for the next fight between my big brother and his homeboys, right? Or probably me and the homegirl who, probably stole something from the house or something like that. Like just waiting, always on guard, always under a state of stress. And I don't think people understand how that shit really affects the way you show up in life. I was telling Dream this morning while we were just driving in the car, we went to go pick up some crystals. I don't know if y'all have this store where y'all live, but if you are in Houston, if you live in Houston, you need to go to Body, Mind, Soul and Body, Mind, and Soul and get you some good vibrations, man. Get you some love vibrations. But I was just telling Dream in the car, some of those times when I would be on edge and I would be ready to fight, right? And this is the constant state of fight or flight mode, right? Not necessarily physically with Dream. Hell no, would never. That's not, we're not doing that, right? But just that defensiveness, right? Even the defensive, like, oh, what? Hold on, is so and so coming for me, right? Even that type of energy, that type of personality trait developed from my childhood experiences. I wasn't born that way. I wasn't born feeling like I needed to protect myself and always be on guard. No, that's not how I was born, and you weren't either, right? You weren't either. Whatever the hell, things you have going on in your life that you feel dissatisfied with, you were not born that way. You were not born to be that person. But you've had life experiences that has cultivated this certain type of quality, this certain type of character, this certain type of personality, right? In your relationships, oh man, they give you the biggest opportunity to watch and to observe yourself. Right? So when I'm talking to Dream and I'm like, babe, yeah, I don't know why I felt defensive or things like that. I also have to express to him, you got to remember where I came from. But even though I came from there, doesn't mean that I want to stay there, that I want to continue to be that type of person. And so, the energy right now is so powerful, and you having the opportunity to reflect on your past state of being, right? When we are in this Mercury retrograde energy, we are given the opportunity to really reflect on our past and to really look at how those past experiences have shaped us to be the person that we are today in our relationships. In our relationship with ourselves, with our children, with our partner, in our relationship to the world, how we view the world, how we perceive the world. Okay? We're able to really look at that. We're really able to reflect on that and say, okay, I see where that comes from. And then we get to actually do the work to be different. Okay? We get to do the work to be different. It's such a powerful thing. Like, yes, we connect with people who are going to remind us of our trauma, but we're not supposed to stay there and keep doing the same shit. You're not supposed to keep doing the same thing. You're not supposed to keep doing the same thing. You're not supposed to keep on perpetuating, the stuff that reminds you of your childhood, right? Even in terms of abundance, right? Even in terms of money. You're not supposed to keep the same belief system surrounding money that you had since you were a child, unless that thought process was of abundance and of having more than enough and it always being readily available to you, right? So you got to pay attention to that. Like, even we took the kids to the store, Body, Mind, Soul, and beautiful store out here in Houston. They sell crystals and fountains and statues and chakra stuff and tarot cards. They sell all the spiritual tools, right? And while we were in there, the kids are like, "Ooh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and I want that." They're doing what kids do. And I had to manage my words with them because I want them to actually know that they can have all of these things. But at the same time, I want to teach them to value what they have, right? Because I'll get them something, I'll buy them something, and they'll look at it for 5 minutes and then throwing it away, right? And I don't want them to grow up and be adults who are careless with their money, right? Who are just frivolous with their money or frivolous with the things that they have. I want them to know how to take care of something, how to nurture something, how to value something, right? So a lot of y'all as kids, you were told, you can't have that. No, you don't deserve that. All right. And so in this time, in this season, we're really being asked to reflect on those things. All right. We're being asked to reflect on those things. So I'm just so grateful. We just had the fall equinox yesterday. Who's excited about that? I'm a fall baby. So this type of energy, it's all me. This type of energy, all me. Fall energy, that's me. Okay. We just had the fall equinox, right? And Dream, my love, did a video on that divine feminine energy. And the video that he did on it yesterday is so powerful, ladies and gentlemen. It's so, so powerful, right? Like, whenever we're talking about divine feminine energy, we're talking about you tuning into your ability to love, your ability to nurture, your ability to heal, right? That's what we're talking about. Your ability to heal, your ability to love, your ability to nurture. And I'm just so grateful for that energy. And ladies, if you feel like you don't have the skills, if you feel like you don't have the know-how, if you feel like you don't know how to heal, if you feel like you don't know how to heal, I mean, you need to be in my class. Look, and it's so funny. The word for right now, I play this game, Word with Friends, with my daddy. I play Words with Friends with him, and every day they send you a word. And the word for today is indigenous. Indigenous. Ladies, you are indigenous to healing. Love, healing, nurturing, ladies, that is natural for you. That is your native language. Love as a woman is your native language. Okay? It is your native language, but you have been so, here's what it is. You have been so masculine, right? You have been so hardened in a sense. You've been so hardened in a sense that you've forgotten how to do that. Okay? So again, I want to invite you, right? Don't just sign up, right? Let me say this. Don't just sign up for the workshop and not show up. Like tomorrow, show up to the workshop, actually be present, get the information. All right? Get the information. Let me see what East teacher. She says, "Wow, what did you say when your kids would ask for something that you didn't feel like they were ready for or need? I'm still working on this myself and what exactly to say." So it's a well, one thing for our kids right now, because we're in the energy right now where we're in the time of releasing. And so we're communicating to our kids right now that now is not the time to be buying new things. Now is the time that we're letting go of things, right? Now is the time that we're letting go of things. Hence the word fall, right? Hence the words fall. So what we're telling them is, let's go clean out your toy box first. Let's go clear out the things in your toy box that you don't need first. And then we'll come back and get what it is that you are wanting right now. Right? So, but if you want to get something, you got to be willing to give something. Understand? If you want to get something, you got to be willing to give something. And so you can start teaching your kids that now, because you don't want your kids to be hoarders of things. You don't want your kids to be hoarders of things, right? And so that's what we are doing with our kids at this point in time, right? We're letting them know, hey, you can have it, you can have that, but what are you willing to let go of in order for you to have enough space to withhold this thing that you want? That's a whole nother topic for some of y'all right now. Some of y'all are wanting, the love, the relationships, the abundance, and all of those things, but you're not willing to let go of something in order for you to be able to withhold what it is that you want. Okay? If you don't have the space to receive the things that you want, how can you receive it? That's come on. So that's something that's probably going to be I'm probably going to be going into tomorrow in the workshop. Okay? Ladies, you have to be receptive and open to receiving the love and the intimacy. You have to be receptive and open to receiving the healthy relationships. A lot of y'all got this wall up, right? And you got the wall up because you're holding on to all the shit that has happened in your past. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. He cheated. He did this. He was manipulative. He was emotionally abusive. He was all of those things. Or it could be a homegirl. My homegirl did this. My homegirl did that. She did all of those things. And you're still holding on to that. You're still holding those things close to you, close to your being, close to your heart. And this is why you cannot receive the love, right? This is why you cannot receive the intimacy. This is why you cannot receive the relationship, the healing, the transformation that you desire. You can't receive it because there's no space. And a part of a woman's essence is space, right? How do we know this? Because out of space is the great mother energy. The great mother energy, the triple darkness, is reflected to us in space. Through space is when we allow for spiritual divine downloads and information to actually come through. It comes through the space. If you don't have the space, then you can't receive the love, the information, the spiritual channels. You can't receive the things that you need to actually move forward. All right? It's just not going to happen. All right? You know what? Something that I want to do right now, I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to pull some cards for the fall season. And I'm excited about it. Let's see what is to come for you all this fall. This deck that we are going to use right now, I'm excited about it. We're not going to use the regular tarot cards, but my spirit was pulling them close to me. But I decided to go in a different direction, because I know if I use the tarot cards, it's going to take a lot more of my energy, right? And I don't want to use a lot of my energy to do this. But let's see what the fall season has in store for some of y'all, right? Let's see what the fall season has in store for some of y'all. We are going to use this healing mantra deck. We're going to use this healing mantra deck, right? So basically what it is an affirmation or a word, some words that you need to hold near and dear to your heart throughout this fall season. That's what we're going to do. If you would like for me to pull one of these cards for you, I will. If you would like for me to pull one of these cards for you, I will do that. I will absolutely do that. If you want that, if the message resonates, feel free to spread the word, right? Spread the word about your girl. Share the video with other people. You can send a donation and all of that good stuff. It's not required, but reciprocation is always key. It's not required, but reciprocation is always, always, always a good idea, right? I was thinking about this the other day. A lot of times, this is a download. Let me read that for somebody. But a lot of times, the reason why your finances are stagnant is because you don't know how to give. That's just a download, right? I had this one lady who will probably make contact with this video because she always watches the videos, but she literally was watching videos and she literally messaged me and was just like, oh my God, I have to send money to you for these videos. And I thought that was so interesting. And I thought that was so, amazing that she actually did that, right? Like she literally was like, just because of a video, I'm going to send you this money. And that was that's spiritual. That was spiritual. And I always say to people who do things like that, I always say that all you are doing is sowing a seed into yourself. It's not about me. It's about you. Okay. Again, it's not required. I'm just talking. Divine Zoe, me, please. Goddess Supreme, she says, peace at Dreamwise, the highest vibes to you. Highest vibes to you, brother. Sending you love to you and sis. Am I on Dreamwise's page? Peace, Goddess Supreme. It's D-Ray's page. All right, who am I on? I'm on Divine Zoe. I'm trying to just get these cards organized. On Instagram, understand that you can get a reading too. I'm going to use this Ganesha spray. I'm going to use this Ganesha spray to clean that off. All right. What's this fall energy? What's the mantra for Divine Zoe to hold on to in this season? What's the message for Divine Zoe to hold on to in this season? What's the message? Ooh. Okay, Divine Zoe. Hey, Goddess Supreme. Good, sis. What's the message for Divine Zoe? Ooh, girl. Ooh. Wow. There's some stuff. No card is just flying out right now for you, Divine Zoe. But I feel like, okay, here we go. Boom. There's multiple things. I'm going to tell you multiple things that's coming up, right? This card, it says, the light is always within me. The light is always within me. That is something definitely to remember. And that's something to stay grounded within. Here's the thing, right? A lot of times for you, Divine Zoe, when you experience losses, no matter how they show up, when things seem to get chaotic, when things seem to not be working out, when things seem to just not be going in the way that you desire, please understand that the light is always within you. The light, the solution, the guidance, right? Whatever it is that you need to overcome a challenge, it is inside of you. You're always receiving the answers. You just must become aware. You just must become conscious, right, of yourself and your own power. And that's a message that I think everybody can receive, right? So understand, when you experience challenges in this fall season, I don't know how, I don't know when, understand that you need that. Family, y'all have to understand this. You have to understand that you need challenges. Our great, beautiful goddess teacher, Miss Blue, always tells us. She always tells us. This is so, y'all don't even understand how spiritual this all is. Babe, if you on here, I think you understand how spiritual this all is. But Miss Blue always tells you, if nothing else moves you, life will. If nothing else moves you, life will. So Divine Zoe, I want you to give yourself some challenges. I want you to stretch yourself. Please stretch yourself. Stop being comfortable with just the bare minimum of having. Stop being afraid to take risks. It takes risk to love. It takes a risk to invest. It takes a risk to believe in yourself and to pursue your goals and pursue your deep desires. It takes risk to do that. You got to go for it. And you got to understand that if things don't work out exactly how you wanted, you have the power to find the light in the situation. Why? Because you are the light. And that goes for everybody. You are the light. You have the final say. Like we used to hear in those Bible times when they used to say, God has the final say. God has the final say. You have the final say as far as how you perceive these losses, which are really lessons, which are really blessings. You have the final say in that. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, what have I been saying? Have I been utilizing the full power of my light? Have I been utilizing the full power of my essence, right? Have I been utilizing that? You got to really ask yourself that. You got to really be honest about that. And you got to take responsibility for how you are using your light. Because either you're using your light or you're not. And if you're not, then this is why you may feel dissatisfied in your relationships, okay? This is why you may feel dissatisfied in your relationships, okay? That's the message for you, sis. Let me know how that resonates with you right now. Listen, let me know how that resonates with you right now. Just let me know in the chat. On Instagram, yeah, we can do Instagram and over here on YouTube. Yes. Hey, love. We're gonna clear the spray. We're using a Ganesha spray. I don't know if it's available on Dream's website right now, but we're gonna use this Ganesha spray. Tap in. All right, let's go to let me see. Let's go. We're gonna go to Keisha Dunn. Spirit, what you want Keisha Dunn to know about this fall season for her? We just had this fall equinox. Let me know what's the message for our good sis Keisha. What's the message for our good sis Keisha? Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. I love it. Wow. I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. A lot of stuff is happening. Keisha, the message for you is I will transcend every loss. I will transcend every loss. Y'all, we have to understand that when we are faced with life's challenges, we have the power to overcome it. It's all about perspective. It's the same thing that I just said to Divine Zoe, right? A lot of times, family, we are just so riddled with fear. And we block ourselves from the transformation. We block ourselves from overcoming. We block ourselves from getting to where we got to go. And then we feel at a loss. We feel stuck. We feel stagnant. When really your higher self, your spirit is like, just trust and move forward. Take that step. Spirit was telling me before that card even fell out to tell you, Keisha, you need to lean more into gratitude. I didn't pass you up, best 71068. We over here on I'm going back and forth from YouTube to what's it called? I didn't pass you up, right? So spirit is like, you need to lean more into your gratitude, Keisha. You getting caught up on the losses, right? You're getting caught up on what things did not work in your favor, and you're missing the blessing. You're missing the things that have been working out. Family, when you start to find gratitude in the little things, when you start to find gratitude in the little things, this is how your life will open up. Okay? Right? When you find gratitude, Keisha, in the little things, life will start to open up for you. I mean, think about it. Every time that you've ever experienced what you thought was a loss, hindsight is 2020, you like, damn, that shit really worked out in my favor. Think about that breakup. Think about the loss of that job, right? Think about those situations that in the moment you feel like, ah, shit, this is like the end all be all. What am I going to do now? And you keep living and you keep going, and then life, and then you get to a point where you're like, damn, spirit, God works in mysterious ways. That's why that's the way that we verbalize it, right? God works in mysterious ways. You have to, Keisha, you have to start trusting the mysterious ways. Stop thinking that everything is going to just be 1 + 2 = 3, because it don't work like that. We are such multi-dimensional beings. We are such multi-dimensional beings, and we limit ourselves to what is possible based off of what we see in the external world. Ladies, that is masculine energy. See, that divine feminine energy, it just knows. It's like, I just know that everything is going to work out. I may not know how. I cannot logically say, okay, it's going to go this way, this way, this way, but I have trust deep in my heart that it is working out in my favor. Okay. So Keisha, you have to learn to lean more into that. And that takes discipline. That takes focus. That takes practice. And let me say this, for the people who are, this is a side note, for the people who are saying, yeah, me, I want to read and do me. I'm going to the people who donate first. Right? Because that's just reciprocation. Because you never know. I may get a couple of done and I'm like, okay, y'all, I'm tired, right? So I need to talk to the people who donate first. So if you feel like I passed you up, send a donation or something like that and you'll be next. All right. So Keisha, let me know in the chat if that resonates with you. You got to stay focused, sis. You have to understand that there are really, in our reality, there is no such thing as losses. Losses is all perspective. Losses is all perspective. And you have to become a person that can see with your spiritual eye. Okay? You have to be a person who can see with your spiritual eye. Lauren, I'm coming to you next. Y'all, I remember this was about maybe a few years ago. Y'all, I really wanted this job. Keisha, I wanted this job so bad. It was to be a head volleyball coach at a school that is in my neighborhood, literally walking distance. If I walk to the school, it would take me 10 minutes. If I drive, it takes 3 minutes. Literally wanted this job so bad. I mean, I was invested. My heart was invested in getting this job. I go to the interview, kill it. Kill the interview. I'm like, there it is. If anybody comes in this job and is better than me, I don't know what to say, because I just killed this interview. I just knew I wanted this job so bad, Keisha. And the hiring process, it took them about 2 weeks to get back to me, right? The guy was, he was constantly talking to me and was like, man, yeah, we really at a battle right now. We really trying to figure this thing out. We're really trying to, get these answers. We don't know who we want to go with. This is what he kept on saying. At the end of the day, I didn't get the job. Oh, I was so hurt. I cried. I was hurt. I felt like I had lost, right? Because I was going to be making more money and I was going to be closer to home. It was going to save, it was going to save us for gas money, all of that, because I was so close. I was closer to my kids, whatever. Didn't get the job, freaking heartbroken. And I gave myself a day. I said, you know what, I'm gonna give myself a day to feel down about it, to feel sad about it. And then, Spirit, I need you to give me my energy back. I need you to tell me why. I need you to tell me what the lesson in this is. And Spirit was like, the reason why you didn't get that job, the reason why you lost compared to this other person is because I need you to focus on your business. I was like, oh, okay. Spirit was like, I need you to focus on this business because you don't belong in a school anyways, right? Like the time that you spent there is done, you're good. Actually, this happened in 2019 when I didn't get that job, right? Actually, this happened in 2019, going into 2020. And Spirit was just like, no, you need to focus on growing this spiritual business. You don't need to be at a new school, in a new environment. A pandemic is starting. Spirit was like, that's not for you. So I thought it was a loss, but baby, if I would have got that job, I would not be sitting here right now. There wouldn't be no womb alchemy boot camp. There wouldn't be no sacred sister circle because I would be so consumed in trying to learn this new school, learn these girls, turn the program around and making sure that they're winning. I would be so focused on doing all of that. And Spirit was like, where you are, be where you are right now. Because at the very least, you know what the day-to-day scheduling routine is. And because you are already comfortable in this space, you have the opportunity to work on your business, which was so true. At the school that I was at, man, I could be working on on Patreon, right? This is at the beginning of Patreon. I had so many posts that I was making while at work for Patreon. I was able to make blogs. I was able to make videos. I was able to do so much in my business while at that job to where if I would have got that job, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah, I would have been closer to home. Yeah, I would have probably made more money, but I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. So you have to learn that everything that feels like a loss in your life is always a lesson and it's always a blessing, but you have to ask Spirit for the concessions. Now, Divine Zoe said, yes, I feel like I don't receive answers from my questions. I feel like I don't be hearing. No, it's not that you don't hearing, it's you don't like the answer. And that's another thing, family. Your spirit, your higher self is giving you the answers, but you don't like what it has to say because what it has to say means you have to change. It means you got to do that fast. It means you probably got to walk away from that relationship. It means you probably got to stay at that job that you feel like you hate and you really need to change your perspective on it. It means you need to start exercising. It means you need to stop talking to that specific friend. So you're getting the answers, but you're not liking what you're being told. And so you block off that communication. Your spirit is always talking to you. Always. It is your ego. It is your conscious mind. It is your beliefs and all of that you are so attached to that closes you off from receiving the wisdom of your higher self, from receiving the wisdom of your intuition. That's just the facts. Okay? That is what is actually taking place. So you really need to understand that, and you need to push yourself. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. If you feel like you're not getting answers from Spirit, I challenge you to ask yourself, am I okay with being uncomfortable? Am I willing to embark on this journey though I don't know where it may lead? That's the real question. And if you can answer that question, right? If you can answer that question, then you can really make a difference in your life. Then you can really see the manifestation of what it is that you're needing. Then you can really see the answers to the questions that you have. All right? That's my message for you. Let's go to, you said every loss is a lesson, but what if it's loss after loss after loss? Divine Zoe, consciousness, Divine Zoe, consciousness. And the reason why I want to spend some time with you right now is because you are really needing to rewire your mind and understand that you are the light. Thank you, Keisha. I'm grateful to do this work. Okay, let me give you this understanding, then I'm going to move on to Lauren. All right, let me give you this understanding. Divine Zoe. The perception that you place on your situations, right, When you call something a loss, you are the person that is making it a loss, not the external world. Nobody is making it a loss. Your perception on your situation, you saying, okay, this is a loss, meaning something has been taken away from me, right? When you give it that meaning, that is what it will be, and you will continue to create that. That is why the card that came out for you said, I am the light. I am the light, meaning whatever light you cast upon your situation, that is what you create. So you have to stop thinking that everything is a loss. That is happening in your mind. When you stop believing that everything is a loss, it will no longer be a loss. Okay? And this is why your consciousness, your awareness, your presence is so important. Okay? So you have to do the mental work. Okay? You have to do the mental work. You have to transform your perspective. And that means you have to be reflective. That means you have to go inside. That means you have to tap into that divine feminine energy. Okay? It's not loss after loss. That's how you're choosing to observe it. And I'm not saying to you, Divine Zoe, that there are things that are happening that don't hurt, that don't cause you pain, right? Because there are things, it happens. We're having a human experience. You're going to experience some hurt. You're going to experience some pain. Yes, you are. But how long are you sitting in that? And what are the beliefs that you are creating surrounding that, right? See, I chose to tell myself I didn't lose in not getting this job. I chose to tell myself, okay, yes, I'm not making as much money as I want. Yes, the commute to this job is long. Yes, I'm not around my kids like I want to. Yes, but at least I get the opportunity to focus on my business while I'm at this space. At least I get the opportunity to focus on my business and grow within myself. At least I get that. And because I get that, because that is a benefit to being at this job, I'm going to focus on that. See, you're focusing on the loss, what was taken away. Oh, this relationship is happening. Oh, the abundance and all of this. Oh, this job is suck, or I can't do this, or I can't do this. Even my my body is hurting. I got these pains, I got these aches, and you're deciding to focus on what is not working out. And when you focus on what is not working out, you continue to create that. This is spiritual science. If you don't get anything else from anybody else that you listen to, that you observe, I don't care who it is. The whole idea of spirituality is whatever I think and perceive about myself and about my life, that is what it is. Okay? Period. So you have to work on your mind. You got to work on your mind. You got to develop more mental clarity and mental strength. Okay? That's what you have to do. And if you are not learning the lesson in your losses, that is why they keep happening. Why? Because you're not changing. You're not becoming a different person. You're the same person expecting a different result. And if you're the same person expecting a different result, you're going to keep on getting the same result. And what do we call that? We call that insanity. We call that insanity. So you got to really ask yourself, damn, am I insane? You got to ask yourself that. We all go through it. All right. Let's go to Lauren. Lauren says she's been getting all the gems from this whole thing. I love that, Lauren. I'm glad that you've been getting the gems. I love that you've been getting the gems. I love that you've been getting the gems. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Much love to you, Lauren. Let's see. Spirit, what's a mantra for Lauren? A healing mantra for Lauren in this fall season. I'm going to come over here to Instagram next. Hold your horses. What's the mantra for Lauren? What's the mantra for Lauren in this fall season? What does Lauren need to know? I'm hearing one thing, Lauren. You're second guessing yourself. You're doubting yourself. You're doubting what you're capable of. And Spirit is like, just tell her stop doubting herself. Oh, trust yourself. You need to work on your self-trust, which means you have to trust. You have to trust that you have what it takes. You have to trust that there is wisdom that is inside of you. You have to trust that you have the answers. You have to trust that you are capable, Lauren. Ooh, you got to trust that you are capable. You got to trust that that's it right there. The card for you, Lauren, the mantra for you for this season, sis, is in any given moment, I always know exactly what to do. In any given moment, I always know exactly what to do. So, Lauren, why have you been second guessing yourself, sis? Why do you feel like you don't know the answer to your life situations? In any moment, you always know exactly what to do. Let me know, Lauren, why you've been second guessing yourself. And here's the reality. Here's the reality, Lauren. You got to meditate more. You got to discipline yourself on your in your meditation practice. You got to discipline yourself in your meditation practice, Lauren. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully you still here, sis. She probably typing away. Let's see over here. I'm coming to you after one person over here on Instagram. The alchemist Jory Johnson. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I'm definitely gonna go to the people who have donated, just because that's just reciprocation. I gotta do that reciprocation work, and then if I have time, I'll come back to other people. And then, like over here on Instagram, if you are not here, I can't say anything because I'm gonna be talking to nobody. So put your hands up. Put your hands up or something. If you are on Instagram and you're like, well, how do I donate? If you click the link in my bio, or you can just come to YouTube. If you click the link in my bio, ooh, that's a message for somebody. If you click the link in my bio, you can join us on YouTube, right? If you click the link in my bio, you can join us on YouTube, or you can click the link in my bio, and down at the bottom of that link tree, it says love offering. So there is an opportunity for you to donate on Instagram as well, right? You can do that, and then I will see you. I will definitely see you. Let me see. All right. So Lauren says, oh yeah, it's there, baby. It's there. Right? It's there on Instagram. So you can do that too on Instagram. It says love offerings. So Lauren, you said the reason why you second guess yourself is because your family second guesses you. That to me, Lauren, says that you are putting more energy and effort into what your family got to say rather than what your spirit, rather than what your higher self is saying. And that's and that is a trauma response, sis. That is a trauma response. You got to understand that. You know, you're placing the value of yourself, right? You're placing the value of yourself into the thoughts and the beliefs of your parents. So you have to ask yourself, right? Or your family. You have to ask yourself, okay, when was that first experience where I believed that their thoughts of me were more important than how I think of me? You got to ask yourself that. And you also, Lauren, you also have to determine what is valuable to you. Because some of the values that your parents have placed upon you, it no longer aligns with who you are and where you are going. Okay? It no longer aligns with who you are and where you are going. So you must be okay, Lauren. You must be okay with being that black sheep of the family, with being that person that is different, with being that person that goes against the grain of your family. You got to be okay with that, because guess what? The more you trust in yourself, the more you invest in yourself, the more you do that, the more they will see, the more they will understand. All right. But you got to show up for you. If you don't show up for you, then basically you are saying that you believe everything that they say. And not only that, you have shaped your life surrounding what they say and what they think. And not only that, they looking like what they think and what they say is right. No, sis, you have the power to prove people wrong. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for yourself. But in your doing it, you open their minds up to know that there's more to life than how they've been living and what they've been thinking. Okay? Dreaming, I was just doing this. We were just talking about how whenever you're becoming an entrepreneur, we were just talking about how important it is, or if you have desires or goals to pursue a passion, right? We were just talking about how important it is to have people in your square, to have people in your space that support you and that are going to put, that love in your ear and that are going to tell you, like, you can do this, you got this, right? We were saying how important that is to have that. And we were so grateful that we are that to people, right? Because, for example, my stepfather and my mother, at first they had this belief like, oh no, you got to work a job, you got to retire from a job, you got to do all of that. That's what they were saying, right? But every time we came over there, every time we were around them, we just kept on telling them, no, you can have a trucking company, and there are plenty of people making a lot of money from these trucking companies and blah, 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 blah. Kept on telling them that over and over and over again. Now, my stepfather, Black, has quit his job and he is actually working for himself and bringing in that paper. Okay? So you may not have people around you who are telling you, Lauren, you can do this. Lauren, you got that. But you have to stay focused. You have to stay fixed on the vision that your higher self has bestowed upon you. If you see a certain life for yourself that you received as a spiritual download, it doesn't matter who gets it. It doesn't matter who understands it. You have to keep walking the path, and then your path will shine light onto them without you even saying nothing. Then they're going to become interested, right? When Dream and I first left our jobs, everybody asking us, what y'all do? How y'all do it? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. They kept on doing all of that. They were so interested. And as we kept on letting our light shine, as we kept on being us, next thing you know, they started to feel more confident. They started to take more risks. So understand that you have to believe in yourself, sis. In your belief in yourself happens moment by moment, day by day. So when you recognize you're procrastinating, when you recognize that you're afraid to make a decision, when you recognize that you're thinking that things have to be perfect in order for you to make a move, understand that is you holding yourself back. Understand that is you existing in a state of fear. So take on the challenge. Take on the challenge and move forward. All right. Take on the challenge and move forward, because you absolutely can do this. You have everything that you need. And you wouldn't receive the download to do something if you didn't have what it takes to do it. Period. All right. That's for you, sis. That's for you. That is for you. Let's go to the alchemist, Jory Johnson. Hopefully I said that right. The alchemist, Jory Johnson. The alchemist, Jory Johnson. All right. I promise y'all, anybody can receive wisdom from this. So whether you get one that is specifically for you or not, there is a blessing in the message for you too. You just have to open your mind and open your heart to receive that. Right? You got to open your mind and open your heart to receive that. Okay. So understand that. Understand that. Understand that. Let me see what's happening here. Ooh. Okay, so you got 3 cards. Oh, no, okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. The first thing that I see for you, alchemist Jory Johnson, right? That flew out. I'm going to keep on shuffling, but the first thing that I see is you have the right to be excited. I don't know. Listen. Stop going around, dimming your light because other people aren't shining like you are. You know how oh God, come on. So some of you, maybe it's you, Jory, but so many people So many people, because other people around them weren't shining, weren't glowing, weren't growing, they decided to play small. The alchemist Jory Johnson, you got to stop playing small. You have the right to be excited. You have the right to shine bright, right? You have the right, and you are required right now to start showing up bigger, to start showing up bolder. All right? Stop thinking, oh, everybody else doesn't have what I have, or everybody else isn't blessed like I'm blessed, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be proud about what I have. I'm not gonna be proud about who I am. I'm gonna be humble, right? I'm gonna be humble. And I'm not saying that you got to be obnoxious. I'm not saying that you have to be arrogant. I'm not saying that you have to be egotistical, but you have the right to be excited. You have the right to be proud of yourself. You have the right to congratulate yourself. You have the right to speak highly of yourself. Because let's just be real. People don't even want to be in connection and relationship with people who don't realize and recognize their own value. Stop sleeping on your own self-value. When people don't know who they are, when they're not passionate about who they are, this is when people get taken advantage of. And that's not you, right? That's not you. Understand that there is absolutely nothing that you have to regret about your past, right? There's absolutely nothing for you to regret about your past. So you got to let that go. You got to let that go. And you have to understand that there is strength. The alchemist Jory, you have to understand that there is strength in the traumas that you've survived and in the traumas that you have overcome. Be proud of the shit that you've overcome. I'm telling you, your traumas lead to your triumph. Your traumas lead to your triumph. So you have to be proud about what you've overcome. You have to be grateful for what you've overcome. And you also have to be willing to share the wisdom that you've obtained through your overcoming. You have to be okay with sharing the wisdom that you've obtained through surviving the traumas that you've survived. And you have to understand that there's power in that. And you have to use your voice, use your wisdom, use your understanding to support other people. Right? That's a part of your purpose. A part of your purpose, the alchemist Jory, is being able to reflect on the things that you've overcome and share that wisdom with other people, and being proud, being grateful, being excited about that. Okay? Be excited about that. Be grateful about that. Okay? Be grateful about that. It's a gift. It's a gift. So have no regrets. Have no regrets, because everything was a lesson. Everything was a lesson, and you've grown. You've grown. You've been made better. All right. I'm glad that you received that. I'm glad that that resonates with you. Let me see over here on Instagram. Let me see. Is best71068 still on here? Is they still on here on Instagram? If not, I'm gonna move to my girl East Tea Tree, who has been supporting this whole time. East Tea Tree, are you still here? East Tea Tree, are you still here? Let me know in the chat on Instagram, and then I'm gonna come to over here. Let me see what these. All right, East Tea Tree, I got a card for you, and it says it couldn't have happened any other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. Sis, whatever you are holding on to your heart, it's time for you to let it go. Whatever you are holding on to your heart, it's time for you to let it go. It's time for you to surrender. It is time for you to accept that through your mistakes, you've been made better. It's time for you to understand that through your mistakes, you've been made better. It's time for you to let it go off your heart. It couldn't have happened any other way. Any other way. So many times, y'all, we have these traumas and we are like, or we make mistakes and we're like, oh, we like pity ourselves and we hold on to this guilt. You have to learn to shift the guilt energy, because the guilt energy is just going to hold you back from being who you need to be. So shift that guilt energy into more consciousness and into more awareness. Understand that guilt is actually a gift. I know y'all are like, what? How is guilt a gift? Well, guilt is a gift because now you know better. You have to let go of being like, oh, I wish I would have did something different. I wish I could have, behaved differently or been differently and things like that. You really got to let that go, because that's going to keep you stuck repeating cycles and not moving forward. So understand that guilt is a gift, because now when you find yourself in a specific situation, you are going to be more conscious of the actions that you're taking, of the words that you're using, and the feelings that you're feeling. You're going to be more conscious about yourself. That's the gift of guilt. And that goes for everybody, right? That goes for everybody. Guilt, you're not meant to just stay feeling guilty, because what you end up doing is persecuting yourself. And when you persecute yourself, you are the one that is creating the chaos in your life. You are the one that is creating the dissatisfaction in your life. Okay? Nobody, the saying, only God can judge me. Well, when you feel guilty, you're judging yourself. You're basically telling yourself, I'm wrong, I did something bad, and I need to persecute myself. I need to be going to jail. I need to be getting punished. I need to be getting some consequences. That is what you're telling yourself. Okay? That is what you're telling yourself. You're telling yourself, I need to receive consequences for a mistake that I made back in the day. And you got to let that go. You really got to let that go, because otherwise you will keep creating the bullshit in your life. It's not everything happening outside of you. This is everything happening inside of you. This is the projection that you're putting out. All right? And so you got to understand that. Even this is a very real experience of that, right? A very real experience of that is I've worked with women and coached women who have had issues or struggles with getting pregnant. And it was really a form of self-punishment. And it was a form of self-punishment because, one, they had an abortion in their past, right? Literally, I've worked with women like this who've had an abortion in the past, and they felt so bad about it for so long that they've literally given themselves the consequence of not being able to get pregnant, or getting pregnant and then losing the pregnancy. And it's their own internal guilt that is making that happen. So we had to work through that, and you got to work through that. You have to understand that you didn't know what you didn't know. And now that you know better, you do better, period. And you have to hold yourself responsible for that. You have to hold yourself responsible for that. You have to tell yourself, okay, now that I know better, I'm going to do better. I'm going to show up better. And that way you release that from your being. All right. So think about it like that. Guilt is a gift. Guilt is a gift, and it's a gift to you being better and doing better. All right. Think about it that way. Let's go over here to Faba Carter. Pieces, Faba Carter. Let's go to you. Let's go to you. Like I said, these messages can resonate with anybody, everybody. It's spiritual that I'm even doing this. I'll tell y'all about it in a little bit. Faba Carter, what's the message for Faba Carter going into the fall season? Remember, these are messages to take with you throughout the fall season. These are messages to take with you throughout the fall season. Okay? Messages to take with you. You know what, Faba Carter? There's something happening right now in terms of your Oh, thank you for that, Faba Carter. We're grateful. We're grateful. We're grateful. We're grateful. Thank you for celebrating us. And thank you for being grateful for us. We're grateful for you, because if you weren't here, if we didn't have nobody to talk to, I don't know. Will we still having a conversation? I don't know. So thank you. Thank you, Faba Carter. All right, Faba Carter. Faba Carter, the first thing I want to tell you is perception. Perception. You need to make sure that you're seeing things clearly, okay? Because you may be casting a certain light on certain experiences, and it's delusional. Let me just say that. And we all do it because you need to make sure that you're not looking at whatever it is that you're observing, whatever it is that is most important to you right now. Damn, you got the same card as her. whatever it is that is important to you right now, Faba, you need to be looking at, or maybe it's FABA, you let me know, but you need to be looking, you need to make sure that you're not looking at things from the lens of trauma, because we have the ability to do that, where you're not seeing things clearly. You're not seeing things clearly. You're seeing things from a past perspective that no longer serves you. Okay, so you also need to understand, and I need to look at this comment that you put up here. So you also need to understand that everything is serving you. It couldn't have happened another way. So you said, I started a massaging business and I really love it. However, I started school so I can become a registered massage therapist, and I'm scared shitless that I will fail as I failed college. There you go. That's the problem. First of all, oh, come on, Spirit is so juicy. This is so juicy because these are the two cards that came out for you. It says, I will transcend every loss. So when you failed college in the past, you felt like you lost. Loss, failure, that's the connection that you've made, and you're operating on a belief system from that space. The other card that came for you says, it couldn't have happened any other way. Sis, you wouldn't be here right now pursuing massage therapy that you really love if you wouldn't have failed college in the past. Because if you would have passed college in the past, you would be doing something else and you probably would be dissatisfied. You probably would be irritated, annoyed, unhappy, depressed, because you would be into a field doing a job that somebody else told you to do. Okay? So it couldn't have happened any other way. It is now time for you to transcend that loss. And you do that by shifting your perspective. You have to shift your perspective. So right now you're looking at the situation is, oh, I'm scared because I failed college. I failed school in the past. I don't know if I need to do it. The shift is, I failed college in the past so that I can be here right now. Can I get an Ashe in the chat? You failed college in the past so that you can pursue massage therapy right now. You have to shift your perspective. Stop focusing on the failure and focus on the opportunity that is being provided to you. Because if you would have passed, you will be in the rat race of doing that, and you wouldn't be pursuing what you feel like is a part of your purpose. Okay? You wouldn't be pursuing what you feel like is a part of your purpose, what brings your soul, what brings you great joy and great pleasure. I go back to the job that I did not get. I thought that was a loss. I thought it was a loss. I thought it meant that I wasn't good. I thought it meant that I couldn't show up. It meant that they didn't see my value. And that was a lie. My spirit was like, no, shift your perspective. Shift your perspective. You didn't need that job, because if you got that job, you wouldn't be... Honey, I would still be at that job. Right now in my life, I get to do this with y'all. I get to have a workshop tomorrow, right? And be happy about it. I get to teach women and coach women multiple times a week at home. I get to be at home with my 9-month-old daughter. If I was at that job, I would not be able to love on my child like that. Love on my daughter. I wouldn't be able to be at home with Dream and us building together, loving on each other, nourishing. Like, what? No. So your perspective is skewed. Your perspective right now is from that space of fear. It's from that space of, I made a mistake. I don't know if I'm good enough. And you are being asked to transcend that, to overcome what you thought was a loss, which was actually a win. Okay? It couldn't have happened any other way. You wouldn't be right here, right now, if things would have went the way that you thought it should go, right? It wouldn't happen, all right? So tap into that, understand that, let that go. Shift, shift, shift. So anytime you're feeling yourself being afraid, anytime you're feeling yourself not moving, not going forward, anytime you're second guessing if you got the answer right on the test or whatever, stop. Just tell yourself, I'm safe. Whatever happened in the past, it happened for a reason, and it serves my highest good, okay? Definitely, definitely, definitely do that, all right? Definitely do that. Let me know how that resonates with you, sis. That was very, very powerful. And that goes for absolutely everybody here, right? You've been thinking that there's been losses, you've been thinking all of those things. No, it's not real. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. All right. That's not what's happening. You're actually winning. Your perspective just needs to change. Your perspective just needs to change. Your perspective just needs to change. All right, let's go to Butterfly Purple Silver 444. Yes, girl, it is officially autumn here in America. It is officially autumn here in the United States. And yeah, it's the fall season. It was officially turned fall yesterday, the 22nd. And we're so grateful for it. Fall is my favorite season because I was born in this season. But let's see what the energy is for you. Butterfly, purple, silver, 444. And then I'm going to come over here to Instagram if you're still here. If you're not here, I can't do anything for you. All right, butterfly. Oh, got you. Ooh, it says, I am, ooh, this is so juicy. It says, I am the missing piece. Focus on that. Don't focus on me. Hold on. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Sis, it's time for you to tap into your confidence. It's time for you to tap into yourself. Why are you not feeling confident in yourself? Y'all, each of us, if you have life, breath, and you are existing here right now, understand that you are a very vital piece of this entire essence that we call God. You are a very powerful part of this all-encompassing energy that we call God, source energy. All right. And so you have to start treating yourself like that. You have to start treating yourself like that. The same way you may have you think about like in religion, everybody is uplifting Jesus Christ or the Buddha or Muhammad or Shakti or Shiva or all of these deities, all of these great beings, right? Everybody uplifts them and gives them so much praise and gives them so much all of this. But you have to ask yourself, how am I doing that with myself? You said I'm trying. So let me know in the chat. Actually, what I want you, let me know in the chat, because I know you're not in America, but let me know in the chat why you feel like you are just a coincidence. Why do you feel like you are just happenstance? Why do you feel like you don't have a real purpose or reason for being here? Okay? Because that's a trauma response, sis. That's a trauma response, Maybe you were the oldest child, and maybe, your mother had younger kids or had children right after you. And when she had those kids, she kind of forgot about you and made you have to fend for yourself. It could be that, right? Or maybe you were the youngest child and you had all of these siblings. And you got kind of forgotten about because your mother and father had to take care of all of these kids, right? Or maybe you wanted to do something that was important. Maybe you loved art, you loved singing, you loved dancing, you loved creating. But when you went to go show your family, nobody was as excited as you were about what it is that you're creating. Whatever it is, you have to understand that is not a reflection of you. Those things are a reflection of the people who were around you at that time. So you have to stop taking it personally. You have to stop taking it personally that people did not give you, the attention, right? Or the presence that you needed. Okay. You are the oldest. See, spirit be coming through. People calling my phone on Instagram. My bad, over here on Instagram. People calling my phone. People calling the phone, and they still calling. Right? So you are the oldest. And a lot of times when you are the oldest and there's multiple kids, you can feel unimportant, right? Because these little people come and you almost become a second parent to them, to where your parents are kind of like, oh, you got it. Don't worry about it, whatever. And there's something within you. There's a little girl inside of you that is like, see me, embrace me. I'm special. I'm important. I'm powerful. And so you have to remind yourself of that. And so if you love acting and you still do, I want you to really, really, really discipline yourself to show up in that space and do the thing that you love. Do it. Show up as it. And here's what you also want to do. You want to give a powerful spiritual meaning to your acting. Why are you doing it? Do you want to bring people joy? Do you want to make people feel loved? Do you want to let people know that they don't have to stay down or sad or depressed? Do you want people to laugh? Like add a deeper essence to what it is that you're doing. That way you understand the truth and the fact that you are a divine sacred being and that you are a piece of God here manifested in the physical realm, right? You are that. You are source energy. You are a bright light. Why y'all this lady really keep calling my phone? Right? So you have to, let me put my phone on do not disturb over here on Instagram. Hold on, Instagram people. Let me put this phone on do not disturb because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Do not disturb. Boom. Do not disturb. All right, IG people. Hopefully I'm back. Hopefully there are no disturbances happening right now, right? Hopefully. So butterfly purple silver 444, you have to add a spiritual energy to what it is that you're doing, right? You have to add a spiritual energy to what it is that you're doing, and you have to give a purpose and to reason as to why it is. That way, when you add that spiritual essence, when you add that spiritual power, you start to tap into your spiritual side more. You go, butterfly purple silver 444. Well, that's what you need to know and understand. Keep doing that because clearly what you are doing is touching people and is connecting with people. And what you are doing is clearly important and it's needed. Do not take those things for granted, okay? You are a very vital part of the universe. Not only are you a part of God, but you are a very important part of God, right? And you have something that is divine and sacred that you are meant to do. Absolutely. You're meant to do whatever that is. So definitely show up, keep showing up, keep bringing that realness, that love to people. So really for you, butterfly, this is just your confirmation. This is just your confirmation as to what it is that you've already been embarking on and dealing with. All right. So that's powerful. And I'm so glad that that is happening for you right now, sis. Let's see. AA. Let's see what's going on with AA. Let's see what's going on. If y'all are still here on Instagram, say hey, say what's up in the chat so I know you're here, right? Because I don't really know who's there in Instagram because so many people come in and out. So many people come in and out, so you never really know. AA, are you still here? Okay. The life get together, or I'm gonna come to you next. The life get together. I'm gonna come to you next. Okay, let's see. Still here, open and ready to receive. I love that. Y'all let me know who's coming to the workshop tomorrow. Who's coming to the workshop tomorrow? Y'all let me know in the chat. I hope to see y'all. I love to make connection. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right, you got 3 cards, and I'm gonna give you all 3. The first card says, I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. Ooh, I love that. This card says, my angels respond. My angels respond when I am open and authentic about how I feel. I love that. And then the last card says, this is all about your pleasure and all about you pursuing that goodness. This card says, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Ooh, that is so yummy. First of all, sis, understand that you are worthy of the good feels. Understand that you are worthy of the manifestation of your heart desires. Understand that this is the thing. This is the thing. Let me tell you about this. A lot of times, you close yourself off to what you want, to what you desire because you don't know if you are actually worthy or valuable enough to withhold it. And so you tell yourself, you know what? I don't want nothing. I'm good with what I have. I'm good with what I have. You know what? I'm not gonna pursue that. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna be good and with what I have. And that's great on some level. That's great on some level. But in this season, in this fall season, I want you to focus more on the gratitude of having what it is that you want. Not just having just enough, not just getting by, but having more than enough and experiencing the fruits and the pleasure of that. Also, you need to ask. There are things that you've been wanting, but you've been having your mouth closed. Closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. So you need to open your mouth. You need to be open. You need to be honest. You need to be vulnerable, which means you got to tap more into that feminine energy. You need to be vulnerable. You need to be open, right? You need to, and I love that you said that in here. You said, yes, I'm here, open and ready to receive. I'm glad that you're saying that here with me, but I want you to open your mouth. I want you to open your mouth and I want you to start speaking what it is that you want. So on a daily basis, this is a ritual for you, AA. I want you on a daily basis, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and I want you to say to yourself all the things that you want, but I want you to speak it in present tense, right? So if you want, or what we say, do your affirmations. Do your affirmations, speak it. And even if the affirmation is, I am comfortable expressing my needs and my desires, even if that has to be an affirmation for you, do it. I am comfortable with expressing my needs and my desires, right? If it has been a challenge for you to speak what it is that you need, then a part of your affirmation needs to be, I am able to do that. I am able to open my mouth and say it. I don't keep it all in, okay? When you give voice to something, you are actually giving that masculine energy to something, right? That voice, that speaking, that's masculine energy because you're putting it out. Feminine energy is just keeping it in, keeping it internal, right? So, and I'm not saying that you have to go and tell everybody everything that you're manifesting. I'm not saying that you have to do that. But if there is someone who can support you in getting to a goal, speak it, say it, ask. All right. And here's why. And here's why. Because there are people who have been assigned to you who are supposed to help you in accomplishing the goals and desires that you have. But because your mouth has been closed, all of those people are just kind of passing you by because you don't know how to open up and ask. You don't know how to open up and speak. So those people have been passing you by. They've been coming into your life and walking out without doing what it is they've been spiritually assigned to do in your life. This card says, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain, which means you need to be building relationships with people who can do some of the little things and take a load off of your plate. Sis, stop thinking that everything has to be on your plate and that you have to do everything. It's just not true. You don't have to do everything. You have everything that you need to receive the support that is going to help you to get to where you got to go. All right? But you got to ask. You got to ask. You got to speak up. You got to speak out. Right? Stop keeping things to yourself. Stop keeping everything to yourself, right? Some things that are near and dear that you know you have to cultivate yourself, that's one thing. But best believe, baby, I be having to ask people for some help. I got one of my good sisters, Felicia. She's not on here right now, but I have to tell her stuff. I have to say, sis, I need this, sis, I need that. And she will, okay, let me get on it. Like when it came down to the Master Student Conference, right? Dream was the idea. I'm the cultivation. As the woman, I cultivate his idea and I birth it, right? But I needed some more feminine energy to support me. So I had to say, okay, Fee, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I didn't just say I'm going to do it all by myself. You know, I'm not, because I'm not meant to. You're not meant to do every single thing by yourself. If you were, you would have incarnated on a planet where you were the only being there, but you didn't. You incarnated on a planet with billions of other people, okay? So open your mouth and speak to what it is that you need. All right. Let's go over here to Instagram, the Life Get Togetherer. I'm gonna get you, and then I'm gonna get off of here because I got some packages that I need to make, that Dream and I need to make. And we're going to. All right, AA, if you've been feeling the pressure of having to manage a lot, ask for help, sis. Ask for help, please. Stop doing things all by yourself. This causes extra stress, and you don't need extra stress. The Life Get Togetherer. You begin people's lives together, and this card is telling you to gather yourself with more love. With more love. This card says, my shadows show me where my love needs to be sent. My shadows show me where more love needs to be sent. That's so good. Y'all, we be thinking that, these thoughts that don't serve us, the fearful thoughts, the negative thoughts, the all of that, the fight or flight energy, that shadow self, we be resisting that. We be like, oh God, why am I thinking like that? Why do I feel like that? Like, no, right? You be resisting that. And the Life Get Together, Spirit is saying, stop resisting that. Give that some love. Learn to give those aspects of yourself that you are not proud of. Learn to give them some love, because that's all they're needing. And you have to understand that that part of you was actually created and cultivated based off of some childhood experiences or early adulthood experiences. But something happened that created this aspect of you. And it just needs your love. It needs your understanding. It needs your compassion. Understand, family, when we experience trauma, we create this alternative personality. When we experience trauma, we literally fragment ourselves into multiple pieces. We're no longer a whole being, right? We're fragmented. And so a part of your shadow self is just this quality of this character, this personality trait that you've developed as a form of protection, right? And so when the negative thoughts are coming up, when the fear is coming up, when the fight or flight is coming up, when the procrastination or the perfectionism, when all of these things are coming up and they're happening, all is really saying is that love me. Love on me a little bit more. Give me some energy, please. Give me some compassion, please. Give me some understanding. Here's also what you need to understand. A lot of times what we call the shadow self is also your inner critic, right? It's your inner critic. And the voice of your inner critic is not even your voice. So it's so crazy how we can give love to other people, but we struggle to love those aspects of ourselves that we are not proud of. Okay? So we have to understand that we have to give love to that part of ourselves. Our higher self is the energy that must communicate with those parts of us that are still in that fight or flight, fear-based state of being. Okay? So you have to give that inner critic some compassion, and you have to let that part of yourself know that you are safe, literally. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. The Patreon family knows I dropped a video on Patreon earlier this week. I dropped a video on Patreon for a technique that helps you to get out of that state of being, right? If y'all are not on Patreon, y'all need to log into Patreon and go listen to that video, because you don't have to, the shadow self doesn't have to keep unconsciously running your life. You can observe it. Give that energy some love, give that energy some compassion, give that energy some understanding. That absolutely needs to happen. Okay? That absolutely needs to happen. And this retrograde season is definitely a great opportunity to do that, because you are pretty much being forced to reflect on your past. You're being forced to reconnect to some of those past situations. You're being forced to look at the inner child. So you're right on it, the Life Get Togetherer. Now you just have to ask yourself, how do I show that part of me love? How do I show that part of me love? What is it that I needed at that time where I developed that type of personality and character trait? What was it? Who was I being? What did I need that my parents, grandparents, they didn't give it to me? How do I give that to myself now? And you discipline yourself to do that. And you remain consistent in giving yourself those things. All right? that's my time, y'all. I'm gonna go make these packages so that y'all can get y'all stuff out on time and in a timely manner. Um, Tomorrow, ladies, I am so looking forward to seeing y'all. We are talking about turning masculine energy into feminine power. And y'all already know we need our masculine energy, but I'm going to be teaching you tomorrow how to balance it out, whether you are too masculine or you don't have enough of it. I'm going to be teaching you how to balance it out. If you've been interested in the womb alchemy boot camp, I'll be teaching or telling y'all more about that tomorrow as well. So I look forward to seeing y'all. And shout out to all the people who were here. Even if you didn't get a reading, thank you for being here, because I know that there was something that connected with you with one of these people who did get a reading. So I love y'all, and we'll be talking soon. Peace, peace, peace. Y'all have a very, very happy Friday. And I'll be seeing you ladies tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm bringing the heat. You bring the love. And I'll be seeing y'all then. Peace.